And a very good morning from the Thorpe Park Resort, where I'm back from my US trip and finally back here to ride the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a delay since the ride's opening on the 24th of May for various reasons, which we'll get into a little bit later on in this video. Today, though, it is all about Hyperia. We're going to check out the queue system here at the park. We'll check out the new merchandise in the Hyperium, the new area, Fearless Valley, and of course, getting on as many rides on there as I can today to give you my full reviews and first impressions. Now, I've come down on an off-peak day today. It's a Tuesday time of filming, hoping for those lighter crowds. However, we do have a pretty major closure at the park today, which is Stealth. So unfortunately, those queue times are going to be quite a little bit longer than they would otherwise have been. Actually, it's still anyway looking quite busy, as you can probably see behind me. But let's head on in, check out what all the fuss is about. Let's see if Hyperia lives up to that hype. Park hours today, 10 a.m. through until 5. Let's head on in. And as you can see, they do still have all the cattle pen queues up here at the outside of the entrance to the park, which thankfully is not in use today. Now, when you get to that entrance portal, you take a left side if you have a Hyperia ride access pass, step-free access, or you want access to the shark cabins. All other ticket types, you take that right side. Security just at the front here. Thankfully, and I did see the YouTube videos of opening day where this area was completely full and absolutely manic. Thankfully, the crowds aren't quite that bad today, but we'll see how they are in terms of queue time when we get inside for Hyperia. Let's join the queue. And this just gives you some idea of how busy it is just at the front of the park here. All of this is empty, which is good to see. However, there's still a lot of crowds around here circling all the way back. So yeah, it is still pretty busy considering this is an off-peak day. Like I say, it is a Tuesday, but there does seem to be probably a number of school trips here and probably year 11s as well that are maybe in between doing their exams. We'll see how busy it gets though on the inside, expecting queues for Hyperia for a good couple of hours today, but we'll see how many rides we can get on nonetheless. And here we are then into the main plaza of the park itself after queuing for about 30 minutes in the cattle pen queue lines just outside. Now, when you get to this section of the park, there is a sign just over the back here. Main queue entry for Hyperia is to the left, and if you want to collect your ride access pass, that's what this queue is kind of at the back here. But it's good to be finally in the plaza. I will say though that I do find it a little bit of a strange decision by the park to merge those queue lines out the front, as it does mean that although, you know, a good 80% of those people were likely here for Hyperia, there were a few people in that line that just wanted to get into the park and head on to the other rides, and they were a little bit frustrated that they had to queue in all of that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure on opening day there were two separate queues out the front, but those have now been merged, which yeah, I just feel, in my opinion, that it's a little bit too early to be doing that. But it's a glorious day today. Really can't wait to get into the park. The bad news is that in the 30 minutes it took me to queue, Hyperia has not gone round the track once. I did see a train when I initially got to the car park. However, I've not seen it since, and it is marked as closed on the queue time in the Thorpe Park app. So that's not the best start. Hopefully it'll be back up again real soon. Let's head in and see if we can get to that first stop point for the ride. And there she is in the background, going up the lift hill. Currently stated 65 minutes on the app. It is open, which is great news. Hey, and there's the boat as we're here on the bridge with that Hyperia music blaring out. Yeah, and this is a change as well. Now, on opening day, this bridge was actually split into two lanes. You had the left side, which was for Hyperia, and then the right side was for everybody else, which basically took them through the dome and into the park as normal. That is now obviously all gone. The bridge is fully back open now, and I suspect that the gates just down here on the left are also closed now as well. So now everybody goes through the dome as per usual, and I believe that the first stop point is just on the other side of that. So we'll go and take a look. Oh, the Hyperia music, it does get you going. And it's great to be back here as well. Soar higher on a beautiful day. Expecting highs of 24 today. Blue skies and sun. And yeah, those gates just on the left there are now closed. That was where the Hyperia queue went, straight into Lost City. So it'll be interesting to see how the queue line now works. Hyperia entrance this way. Here we go. Oh, it is an absolutely epic skyline here at Thorpe Park, as always. And as you just come out of the dome, right in front of you, Hyperia entrance this way, off to the left. So we'll follow the signs and we'll see where it takes us. And in terms of Hyperia's launch, yeah, I was really disappointed. Obviously, it opened back on the 24th of May. There was a press event on the 23rd, and I'm so gutted to have missed that. Unfortunately, on the 23rd, I was 30,000 feet in the air making my way over to Chicago, so I never actually made it, which is a real shame. And then, of course, when I got back from the US, the ride was closed, undergoing modifications and maintenance. It was closed for a couple of weeks, reopened on the 12th of June, and since then has had a pretty successful operating period, with the exception of this past Saturday, where I think it opened for about 2 hours and then was closed for the rest of the day. So let's hope that today is going to be much more successful than that. And of course, speaking of the US trip, if you've not seen those vlogs, 4 different parks across 4 different states. Check those out if you've not already done so. Here we are, Hyperia off to the left here. I suspect that from this point just to the left here, it's going to be the same as it was on opening day. There's Rush just off to the left there.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And Hyperia still reporting 65 minutes, so that's not too bad at all. Of course, on opening day, we were seeing queue times of between 3 and 4 hours. And yeah, I was watching all of the YouTube videos, reading all of the reports, whilst I was out there in the US. 20 minutes for Rush. Oh, this is nice. Like a nice little seating area here, that's cool. Hyperia entrance down this way towards Colossus though. Yeah, that's really nice, all of that. Some nice fake grass there. Music blasting out today. Ah, it's great. Love days like today. And there she is, the absolute beast. Now, I will be taking advantage of the single rider line today. Of course, I am here on my own. Now, usually I don't like doing that, but considering Hyperia is not really a fully themed experience, you're not really going to miss out on much by joining the single rider line and avoiding that main queue. And there she goes, up the lift hill. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, it's epic. Hopefully I get that magic front row today and the magic back row as well, we'll see. If the queue time stays around 60 to 70 minutes today, then yeah, I should get a good few rides on here. As long as the reliability keeps up to scratch, we'll see. Colossus off to the right. Absolutely epic as she takes that stall. Hey. All right, let's get a little bit closer to Fearless Valley. And there goes Saw the Ride. Hey. And Samurai with its new color scheme. Yeah, that looks really, really nice, that. Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it up close. Looks really cool with that red and black, and the Hyperia queue line continues this way. So pretty much the route that you would follow normally to get to Fearless Valley is now the route that you need to take. So yeah, we'll head on down here. We'll see where the queue splits just up here. I suspect it's just normal queues, single rider queue and access pass, but we'll see. And we'll take a look around Fearless Valley after I've had my first ride. Oh, looks nice though, all this landscaping here. This will look nice once this is all grown up. And there she is. Cannot wait. It feels like it's been such a long time since the official opening day. So glad to finally be here. 236 feet, speeds of 81 miles an hour. And 2 inversions. Definitely 2 inversions. Not 3, as I had an argument with someone the other day. Our first inversion, by its very name, is a non-inverting Immelman. Definitely 2 inversions on this, as she goes into that element there. And And yeah, that's not a bad queue line at all, actually. You can definitely deal with that. And there we are, we got main queue entry and single riders off to the right, access pass, step-free access, and fast track holders off to the left. Cannot wait. Single rider line, here we go. Let's see how long we wait. And look at that entrance portal. That is absolutely spectacular and absolutely what we need more of here in the UK. That is just like what they do in the States. Absolutely massive entrance sign. That looks glorious. As you can see, the wait time now is up to 90 minutes. And there she goes into that stall. Hey! Really, really impressed with this though. That looks great. And just underneath that signage then you've got the right access pass and step-free access to the left, fast track and single rider in the middle, and the main entrance on the right there. And of course the main entrance does all go through in here, but obviously due to the popularity you do still have the Cuddle Pen queue line extension that is all out the front here. So I'll be heading into that single rider line.
For the safety of those in the area, cameras and mobile phones strictly forbidden.
Oh, it's absolutely epic. After watching this coaster get constructed, from both inside the park and from Monk's Walk, to finally be here and see this is great. Operations so far seem to be brilliant. 2-train service. Of course, it's 2 rows of 2, 5 cars per train, 20 riders. And yeah, I love all this. Love the theming they've done around here as well. All the queue line fencing actually looks really nice. All the pathways as well, really, really cool. And the landscaping, from what I can see, is quite nice as well. And that stall looks phenomenal. And we're just in front of the station here, not too far to go. Only been waiting 10 minutes. After 50 minutes of queuing in the single rider line, then I'm here in the station for Hyperia. I've been assigned my line. It's number 5, pretty much mid-train. But yeah, look at this in here. Love it all. Looks really nice. Got the big wings at the back here, all the pictures on the walls. I think it looks quite good, although again, like I say, it's not a fully themed experience, but the style that they've gone for in here, I really do like. Got the Fearless over there on the exit, and then the Fearful here on the entrance. That's pretty cool. Nice touch. Good to see all the effects synced up as well. The smoke effects, the music. Forge your wings through there. Love the big anvil as well. And these pictures here are really quite nice. And there she goes. Great to have the Mag Rides baggage system as well here, keeping all of your belongings nice and secure. Obviously this flips up and down depending on which train is coming into the station. Oh, the smoke effects, the music. Absolutely brilliant. Time to forge my wings. Let's go. Hyperia. And I have just had my very first ride on the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster here at Thorpe Park, Hyperia, and oh my god, what an experience. Before I get to that though, let's talk about, you know, the ride and the queue line and the kind of the area itself. Although I've not actually looked around all of Fearless Valley yet, I like the style that they've gone for. And look, I'm not going to lie, at the end of the day, when you're spending £18 million on a ride that's setting records here in the UK, I do feel a little bit disappointed that it wasn't a fully themed experience. However, what they've actually gone for, the style of it all, I think is actually really good. The queue line fencing all looks really nice, all the pathways, the security fencing even. The only thing I would say is there are some bits of theming on the other side of those security fences. They're a little bit hard to see. You know, some pictures, some writing, etc. That you have to kind of squint to see them through those security fences. But otherwise, I think they've done a good job. The landscaping at the moment, yeah, it's all new. When that grows up, it will look much, much better. The station itself, again, the same kind of thing. It's not fully themed, but there are some nice pieces in there. You've got some of the pictures of on the walls to look at, the big anvil, and some nice bits of signage. But the best thing, obviously, is the time dispatch sequence with the music, the smoke effects, the lights. That all looks really, really good. The trains, I love them. I think they look great. The Zero car looks absolutely brilliant. It's basically 2 rows of 2, 5 cars per train for 20 riders total. And yeah, I think they look really, really good. The gold color scheme on there looks fantastic. Taking your seat on the train then, row 5, as you saw in the video before, really comfortable, really, really comfortable. Typical Mac rides. The lap bar restraint, really nice, hugs you just right, not uncomfortable whatsoever. And around the ride as well, didn't latch down or anything like that. It felt absolutely perfect. Couldn't have asked for a more comfortable restraint. And then of course you're off. The train dispatches the station, you get the music, the lights and the smoke, and you're into that first bank to the left, which is really cool actually. I like the way it kind of gives that interaction with the queue line. You kind of wave to everybody, you know, and it really kind of gets the hype going as you engage onto that lift hill. And yeah, from then on, what an absolutely brilliant experience. 236 feet up that lift hill. I was sat on the left side of the train. Absolutely brilliant views from that side, right across Thorpe Park, way off into the background. You can see the Heathrow air traffic control tower, and you can just see for miles. It's absolutely brilliant. And looking down kind of the right side, it was great to think that, you know, not so long ago I was there at a very muddy Monk's Walk watching this get constructed. Oh, it was great, really kind of emotional feeling really. And then you're into that first drop, that first twisting drop, which was absolutely brilliant. Hands up all the way around. The feeling of just weightlessness with that lap bar into that first drop is absolutely brilliant. Staring straight down at the ground, you twist down into that first drop, and then you go up into that non-inverting Immelman, which is a nice bit of airtime in that actually, even in mid-train. I really want to get a back row ride on here. I will try today. But yeah, that non-inverting Immelman, nice element, that really, really cool. Straight in, another drop into that, I don't even know how to describe it. That outward bank element is just phenomenal. The first of the inversions is there as you come out of that. The sideways airtime was insane. It was like being sucked out of your seat. Crazy views as you look down to the left as well. Would like to experience that element on the right side of the train as well. That would be really, really cool. Then out of that element, which was, like I say, absolutely world-class, 9 out of 10, you're going into that stall. And you know what? 41 years I've been on this planet, and I've rode hundreds upon hundreds, if not thousands, of roller coasters in that time. I don't think I've ever quite experienced a stall quite like that. That was absolutely brilliant. The speed that it takes that is absolutely perfect. The hang time you get there is absolutely phenomenal, and you're just looking down at the queue line below you. It's such an amazing feeling. It really is great. Straight out of that stall, you hit that splashdown effect, which is, I gotta say, feels a little bit mistimed. On the ride, you don't actually see it, and I thought that looking at it from the queue line as well. I feel like it could do with going off a little bit before you get to that point. It does trim there as well, actually quite heavily on my ride just then, as you kind of approach that final little twisty element just before that last airtime hill. The airtime hill, yeah, not really too much to talk about really. You've kind of slowed down quite a bit by that point. You're coming into the brake run. Didn't really get much airtime out of that, certainly on the middle of the train. The element before that though, nice little twist to it. That felt pretty good. And then you're coming into the station, and again, the music is all synced up, the lights, and it's just an epic finale, really. It's an absolutely incredible ride. It is without a doubt the #1 coaster here in the UK, in my opinion. Absolutely eclipses Icon and the Swarm that were my #1s before this. What can I say? Absolutely epic ride. It's a solid 9 out of 10, and it's at Thorpe Park here in the UK. It's amazing. 236 feet, speeds of 81 miles an hour. It's phenomenal. Get yourself down here, ride Hyperia. 90 minutes advertised queue time, waited 50 in the single rider. I'm going to try and get lots more rides on it today, different positions, and I'll let you know how they differ as we go throughout this video. In the meantime though, let's take a look around the rest of the area known now as Fearless Valley. And here we are then, just about to enter Fearless Valley, kind of from the Nemesis Inferno end, if you like. Oh, there she goes, around that stall. And here we are, we've got the Burger King, flame grilling since 1954. Now we did see a couple of months ago how all of this has kind of been updated to fit in with the Fearless Valley area. And not much has really changed from that. You'll win a big one there, test your skills, a big old grabber. And then yeah, this Burger King all nicely themed in with the area, which really does look nice. I think it looks quite good. And of course you've got the toilets off to the left there as well, which were all themed in. And Victorious Games just to the right. And of course, yeah, this is where pretty much the construction fencing started just a few months ago. Of course, you've got the cattle pen queue line that kind of starts here. There's no entrance through here. You have to kind of go around this side. And there you have Hyperia right in front of us. A little bits of landscaping going on around here. I love that outward bank curve coming out of the station. It really does offer great interaction with that queue line. You've got the maintenance shed just to the right there with the Find Your Fearless logo and all the gold theming on there. The music playing in this area as well as she goes up the lift hill. And of course you've still got all of the trees and all the landscaping here as you did before. Oh, I'll tell you what, I really do appreciate that shade today. It is pretty warm. And then here's that signage again, where it's right main queue and left for the right access pass. But yeah, this is where kind of all the flooring starts around here. I do like this. They've got the wings in the floor here. That's a nice bit of theming, do like that. And you've also got Fearless Fuel here as well, where you can get your drinks, your snacks, both on this side, but also whilst you're in the queue as well. They've got another window just to the side here, so that's nice. And then right opposite that, you've got Cloud9 treats, chocolate, waffles, and sundaes. They've got a couple of chocolate fountains in here, look at that. Yeah, that looks really nice. And you get your cookies, your marshmallows in here. Hey, how you doing? And there's just an idea of some of the prices up there. Ice cream cone, $4.50 with a flake, $3.15 for a Coke. Soft drinks, £3, $2.75 for your smart waters. I'll tell you what, these do look nice though. Wow, look at that. They're all in here, all your strawberries, all your chocolate covered apples. It smells delicious around here. Here you got the cookies, absolutely beautiful. And again, really nicely well themed into the area as well, Cloud9 treats. Like the name as well, that's cool. Oh, Hyperia though, look at it. Just look at that beast. Still can't believe that that's actually here in the UK. And then of course to the left you have the Hyperium, which is where you can get all of your merchandise. We'll take a look at that a little bit later on. I'm going to get another ride on Hyperia first. You've also got the refresh and refill just to the right. Again, this is all nicely kind of stylized. Again, not heavily themed, but it still does look quite nice. And then here, just to the right of that, you've got this stage where they had the shows for the opening ceremony, which actually still looks really good. Got the screens here, you got the big hammers. Oh, I'm so disappointed I missed that press event, I really am. Unfortunately, I already had the US trip booked before I knew the opening date of Hyperia. I was hoping that I had timed it correctly. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So it's a shame that I missed out on all of that. Still on 90 minutes though, which really isn't too bad, to be honest. And like I say, just 50 minutes for that single rider queue. Or you can buy yourself a fast pass. They're very limited in number, but you can buy them for £20. And just to show you the accessibility board here for Hyperia as well, I tell you what, I've never seen one that's gone into quite so much detail as this. You've got all the sensors here: touch, sight, sound, taste, smell, and everything that you can expect to experience possibly here in both in the queue line and on the ride. Got a section here for missing limbs, who is actually good to ride, and then all the accessibility options at the bottom here as well. Feel free to pause the video to check this out in more detail. And it's worth noting as well that right next to that accessibility board, you've also got a test seat where you can just see if you are comfortable enough and suitable for ride. If you can manage to sit on there, pull the restraint down, and you get the little green light come on the top of the restraint, then you're good to go. And here we are coming into the Hyperium then from the exit of the ride. And look at this guy, hey, rocking the Hyperia merch. But yeah, here we go, let's take a look. What we got here? There we are, Find Your Fearless in gold there. £50 for this one, the sweatshirt, nothing on the back. That looks quite nice though. If you like wearing white, I'm a little bit clumsy when it comes to wearing white. Got the wings down here, the badges for £12. These are quite nice. Yeah, I like those. I've got more of those sweatshirts down here. This is quite nice as well. I quite like that. This is kind of what caught my eye initially before the ride opened when I saw this. I do like that. Nothing on the back. Nice grey colour. This isn't embroidered, but yeah, I think that probably might last a little while. Feels a little better than just printed on, so hopefully you get some good quality out of that. £33 for that one, so that's not too bad. This is kind of the more quality merch though. £70 for this. You got the denim jacket here, Thorpe Park logo stitched in at the bottom, and this nicely embroidered across here. That's really nice actually. Nothing on the back. Obviously very reminiscent of the Nemesis jackets that you can get at Alton Towers. Got some more of the wings down here. You've got your bags and your mugs. Nice gold shirt here as well. The wings on, that's quite cool. Nothing on the back, £28 for that one. Then you've got all your magnets here as well, £6. You've got your socks. This is quite cool. Yeah, I like that. Not quite sure how much that is though. Is it on the back there? Can't see a price for that one. It's pretty cool though. Hang that in your living room. Got the equipment bags here, the lanyards, and some of the badges here as well, and the pins, £8. And £6 for the keyring. You got a Hyperia crop top here for £50. Again, not embroidered or anything on there. Some pink socks and pink lanyards. £8 for the nice pink wings here as well. That's pretty cool. And you got this nice kind of two-tone hoodie here. That's quite cool. I quite like that. Nice and fleecy on the inside. And a nice embroidered Hyperia logo. Zip pockets as well. Important to secure all your loose articles. Some more pins here. Different coloured socks and lanyards. I quite like these lanyards actually. Do like that. They got some stats on the inside there, which is cool. Different colour crop top. Kind of a yellow top here with the ride layout on the front. That's pretty cool. And then Find Your Fearless on the back. £33 for that one. Some more pin badges and socks and lanyards. Again, all different colours. And then you've got another hoodie here. That's pretty cool as well. I like the blue. Not too sure on the two-tone effect here. That's all nicely embroidered though, just the wings on there. £55, nothing on the back. And then another Hyperia tee here. Slightly different style of the wings on that one, £33. And you've got the layout on the back. I gotta say though, that one looks a little bit cheap, certainly on the back anyway. Not a big fan of that one. Again, some different coloured socks and lanyards and pins. And just here you've got your bags and your mugs. £25 for these bags. They feel pretty quality actually, not too bad at all. And then for a nice embossed mug, you're looking at £12. You've also got some notebooks down here. They're £10. The bottles here are 15. These are pretty cool. Yeah, I like those. They're nice. And it's £18 for the suede caps, which are actually around here. That's quite cool. You got the wings on the front there, and then the Hyperia on the back. Really nice. And you got the Hyperia bear. Hey, let's not forget this guy. Not quite sure how much he is. I can't see a price for the bear. Maybe he's somewhere else in the shop. Ah, here we go. There you go. £18 for the for the Hyperia hoodie bear. And you've got another assortment and variety of water bottles and notebooks here as well. You can grab yourself a Hyperia pen if you like. There you go, Hyperia logo on there for just £4. And just next to my mannequin friend here, they do have this t-shirt as well, which is actually quite nice. Got the Hyperia wings on the front there, nothing on the back, but you do have the Hyperia logo down the side there, which is quite nice. Nice colour as well, kind of like a mix of black and grey in there, and that's £33. And you also got a variety of Hyperia wings here that you can wear, all different colours. Yellow, pink, black, blue, kind of a multicolour one there for £20. Yeah, you actually wear those. And then you got some more bags over here as well. Crossbody bags. And then these bags that have actually got the wings on as well. £25 for those. And then another kind of selection of lanyards here. And of course you can also get your ice creams and your soft drinks in here as well. Yeah, in terms of the shop itself, again, not heavily themed, but the style is still quite nice. You've got the gold in the roof here, kind of these chevrons that are coming down. And all of kind of the labels across here as well. Look at that. Life Hacker, Spiritualist, Hellraiser, and Trailblazer. And then yeah, kind of around this window as well, you've got this kind of style. I really do like it. Again, I'll reiterate, it's not a fully themed experience, but I think what they have done is really, really good. All right, it's time for a third ride.
I am fearless. This is not a story of any one strength, but of a triumph so great it lies within us all. I yearned to explore the distant lands, to touch the clouds that paint the sky, tormented by one thing. As the waves come crashing in, I grew a strength like never before and forged my own destiny. Join us in our story. We are Hyperia.
And just a quick look there then through the Hyperium, the merchandise shop here in Fearless Valley, and also some highlights of the show here as well. Wasn't expecting to see that today, so that was good to see. Not quite sure how often that runs. I'm assuming it's a couple of times a day, but yeah, it was actually pretty good. Some good high energy, good costumes in there, and that Hyperia soundtrack, orchestrated by Imascore, and it really does set the scene for this area. Absolutely brilliant. I've just had a second ride on Hyperia as well, row 9 for this one, so very close to the back. And I'll tell you what, the whip on that first drop and that outer banked element as well, absolutely brilliant. I will say though, noticed a little bit of vibration on the back there. I'm assuming it's probably the same on row 10 as well. Not sure if anyone else has experienced that before. Maybe it's just how it's running today. Could be something to do with the heat, I'm not sure, but yeah, definite bit of vibration towards the back. But oh my god, it's such a phenomenal ride. Coming up back into the station with the music, the lighting, it's just brilliant. And I'm about to get my third ride now. Let's see if I can really push forward for a front row on this one. And I'm in the queue now then for my third ride on Hyperia, and I tell you what, the single rider queue was actually looking a lot busier than it was the first and second time. So with an advertised wait of 70 minutes for the main queue, I thought I'd try and join the main queue, see how long it takes, get some different shots of the ride, and see if there is anything around this queue line that I can pick out in terms of, you know, the style and the theming. You get a lot closer to the lift hill here. It is quite a noisy one. Oh, what a sight. Incredible. And we've been queuing for about 20 minutes so far. Good to see all the street theatre out here in Fearless Valley. We've just got here to the 236 drinks and snacks kiosk. There we go. Again, nice and kind of stylized here. Like all this. Big 236 logo. And there's just some of the prices on there for the drinks that you can expect to pay. Yeah, you've got all your crisps here, your sweets and snacks as well. And a Coca-Cola Freestyle vessel for £15. Still got a long way to go yet though. Like I say, queuing for about 20 minutes. And it was advertised 70, but it is moving really fast though. I have to say, if there's one thing I take away from today, it is the operations on Hyperia. They have been absolutely fantastic. I mean, you're talking kind of 30 to 45 second dispatches for this. It did open a little bit late this morning, but it's been flying around since then, which is great to see. And just to the side of 236 now, you can start to see where the landscaping is going in. This will look really good when it's all fully grown, offering some nice shade to this area. You've also got these big speakers here for that extra punch of bass when smashing out that Hyperia score, which does sound fantastic. And yeah, you've got some signage here as well, some little theming pieces around. These are actually easier to see than the ones that are kind of behind that security fence, which is nice. And yeah, right next to the start of the ride here. That bank to the left as it comes out of the station. And there's a good look at the station here as well with the wings on. Yeah, it really does look nice. And again, another train comes out already. So quick. Super impressed with the operations. Absolutely epic. Oh. And we've been queuing for about 30 minutes now. I love these screens around the queue line, kind of documenting the construction of the ride. Got some more signage here, Leap of Faith, that's pretty cool. Like that. And yeah, we're right next to the maintenance building here now. And you can really appreciate that Find Your Fearless logo. It really does look good. All that gold styling around. Hard to believe. It was only a few months ago we were stood on the opposite side of this, filming the construction from Monk's Walk. And now here we are. Music really, really loud around here. It's great. Really does build the hype. Then you got the exit of the station there, and some more landscaping that's going around, including these trees and some smaller bits of planting at the bottom here, which, like I say, when all this grows up, will look really, really nice. Oh, the climax to that music is great. Yeah, there you go, the maintenance shed. Absolutely huge. And again, the landscaping could probably do with a little bit of work around here. It looks a little bit bare. And as a matter of fact, I would have liked to have seen maybe a couple of statues or something around. There is an area just on the other side of that fence, which has kind of been built up a little bit of rock work around, and it's kind of raised up, almost as if a statue of some kind should go on there at some point. Maybe it will in the future, but I think that would have looked really good with the kind of Find Your Fearless logo in the background. Maybe that's for the future, we'll see. I've waited about 75 minutes for my third ride on Hyperia. Oh, I love the music. First time in the single rider queue, waited 50 minutes. Second time single rider queue, 50 minutes. And the third time in the main queue, 75 minutes. Advertised 70, but I tell you what, the single rider queue was probably just as long. It was a lot longer than the 50 minutes of my first and second queue, so I thought I'd join the main queue line. 75 minutes for this ride, really not too bad. And we're on row number 3. Still no magical front row yet. Maybe we'll get that on the 4th ride. Oh, and I've just had my 3rd ride on Hyperia, then row number 3. And you know what? It just keeps getting better. It just keeps getting better. It's absolutely epic. What an absolutely fantastic ride. And I tell you what, the trim brakes that we saw from Monk's Walk, going back a fair few months now, on that drop just before you get to this outward banked element, yeah, a little bit of a concern that it was going to trim on that drop. However, all 3 rides that I've had, I have felt no trims there at all, which is absolutely brilliant. It takes that outer bank at just a perfect pace, almost as perfect as the stall. The worst culprit for the actual trim brakes is this section here, right on the splashdown. However, I gotta say that even though it does trim quite hard there, it takes nothing away from the element that follows. I tell you what, the sideways airtime you get on that element is great. And it feels better kind of the further up you go on the train. I feel like I definitely appreciated that more on the row 3 than I did on row 9. Wow. It's an incredible coaster, this. Definitely on par with some of the best European coasters out there. Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. I love it. And yeah, just around this kind of area here is where a lot of work still needs to be done on the landscaping. Yeah, it's looking a little bit bare here. And yeah, you've got these pipes kind of coming out here, some bits of lighting that don't look like they're connected, to be honest, but I'm sure they must be. But yeah, all this around here could really do with some greenery, just to kind of spicing it up a little bit. What a beast. Yeah, and it's the same just here off to the right as well. All this kind of area looks very flat. And yeah, it's still a little bit messy actually. There's still some construction pieces left that you can see, some fencing, some old barrels out the back here. They got the speakers there though, blasting that amazing soundtrack. But yeah, just some more planting around here wouldn't go amiss. And then of course, from the right exit, you enter the Fearless Gallery, where you can get your on-ride photos. And while I'm here in Fearless Valley, I thought I'd come down just to see if there's any movement on the site once occupied by Black Mirror Labyrinth and the Slammer. And although I can just see a skip through here and maybe one or two other bits of machinery, it doesn't look as though much has been done at all. Of course, the latest rumours here for this site is that this is all going to be bulldozed and flattened with potentially something new for Fright Nights or a brand new flat ride. That's definitely something that I would like to see. Of course, you've still got the Slammer here. Just see it through there, all being overtaken by this undergrowth. You've still got the signage around here as well, all just looking old and nothing else on them. So yeah, I would like to see this completely flattened and maybe a brand new flat ride brought in, themed into Fearless Valley. That would be really, really cool. Although I don't think that's going to happen. I think if a new flat ride does go in here, it is going to be kept separate from Fearless Valley, much in the same way that Samurai is currently. But yeah, excited now that Hyperia has gone into place, it's open. I don't think it'll be long before we start to see some movement on this site here, and it's about time. The Slammer has stood SBNO for a long time now, and yeah, originally it wasn't removed, I think because of environmental concerns due to kind of nesting birds, protected species and such. However, I don't think that's an issue anymore, so yeah, the quicker this site gets sorted, the better. There goes Colossus. And with just 40 minutes left of park time, I'm going to get my fourth and final ride on Hyperia. Currently advertised at 80 minutes. So I'm going to join that single rider queue again and see how long I wait. Am I going to get that magic front row? We'll find out. I very much doubt it. But we'll see. Also worth noting as well that I did just grab myself a strawberry sundae from Cloud9 Treats. And yeah, well, it was very nice, and I did really fancy some ice cream. It was £7, which is, yeah, very expensive for what you actually get there. However, it was really quite tasty. Right, let's join the queue, single rider line. Hopefully, we wait no longer than 40 to 50 minutes. Minutes later then we have arrived at the stairs to the station then, so not too bad at all. Love the fact that they've got old Jack Silkstone here on the boarding instructions on the screen just through here. That's a really nice touch actually. The guy done an absolutely epic series following the construction of this ride from start to finish, and it's well worth a watch. It's great to see him appreciated and getting a little cameo in these screens here. That's great. But here we go, up into the station, 40 minutes later. And 50 minutes later, in the single rider queue, we're here in row 8. So no magical front seat for me today, but I'm sure that'll come at some point later on. Yeah, every single time I've queued up in the single rider queue, it's been 50 minutes. That's not too bad at all for a ride on this epic scale. Final ride of the day then, row number 8. Let's go. And this shot here, just behind the Hyporium, really does give the best view of Hyperia. Absolutely epic. Look at that. Makes for some great photo opportunities here with this in the background. And I gotta say that my biggest concern when this was being constructed was its length. But to be honest, those concerns are just unfounded really. Being on the ride, it really doesn't feel that short. And to be honest, even if it did, it's so packed full of absolutely amazing elements that I don't think it would bother me if it did feel short. I think it feels just the right length, to be honest, I really do. Absolutely brilliant. As the park filters out now towards the end of the day, but you've still got that absolutely epic score just playing in the background. And after my fourth and final ride then on Hyperia, that is going to bring this vlog to a close. And what can I say? I've had an absolutely epic day riding this. 4 rides in between the hours of 10 and 5. I don't think that's too bad, to be honest. 50 minutes in the single rider line, considering queues for this were in excess of 3 hours this past weekend. I'll take that. I think that's great. 4 different rows. Didn't secure the magical front row seat, which I've been told is the best place to ride this, so that will come in a ride in the future. But the ride, without wanting to repeat myself, in one word, it's spectacular. I think it's unquestionably the best coaster in the UK. 236 feet, 81 miles an hour, and airtime for days. That first drop is absolutely brilliant. And I tell you what, on the back rows of that, furthest back I got was row 9, but the whip was absolutely fantastic. So comfortable, so re-rideable, and one of the best stalls in the game. Absolutely loved it. The hang time from that is just off the scale. Absolutely brilliant. The outward bank element as well. I think that and the stall is probably 2 of my favorite elements anywhere. It's absolutely brilliant. Really hard to describe, but it just feels like you're getting sucked sideways out of your seat. It's absolutely brilliant. And as a note as well, just before that is where the camera is to take your photos. So if you want to do a nice pose, do that just before you go in to that element. Yes, it does trim through the splashdown, quite heavy actually. You can really feel it. It's quite jolty. However, there's a reason for that, because the sideways airtime in that element following that, yeah, that is really quite savage. Absolutely love that. Really, really good. And then that final airtime hill, it's not too much really. I got a little bit more airtime towards the front and towards the back of the train, not really much on row 5, but then you're into that brake run. Like I say, it's all themed up to the music, all the effects in the station, and I gotta say, the area as a whole, I think they've done a good job, to be honest. Yes, there's still some pockets around that need tidying up, a little bit more landscaping here and there just to really make it. And over time, obviously, this will all grow up, and I think will look really, really nice. Depends what's going to happen with obviously the area where the slammer is. I would like to see that kind of themed into Fearless Valley, but I got to be honest, I think that's going to be kept kind of separate to this area really. I think they've done an absolutely brilliant job. The show earlier today was fantastic as well. Come and ride Hyperia. It's my #1 coaster in the UK. It's up there with the very best European coasters in my opinion. It's not going to break into my top 10. However, for the UK, it's outstanding. It's at Thorpe Park. This is pretty much my second local park next to Legoland Windsor. So the fact that this is here, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I don't have enough superlatives to describe this ride. It really is great. Have you ridden it before? Let me know in the comments. What was your favorite seat? What's your favorite element of the ride? And yeah, I would love to know. It's always nice to kind of keep it interactive in the comments. But that's been it here from Thorpe Park. In terms of the next vlog coming up, we're going to be back at Alton Towers. Lots to check out there. That's going to be this weekend, so the vlog likely be coming up this Monday. We got some Scarefest updates to check out. Check out Hex. Is it open? Is it not? It's not yet. We'll see if it is this weekend. Project Ocean Construction as well in Forbidden Valley. Lots of rides on the Smiler, Nemesis Reborn, and everything else that we can get done there at Alton Towers this coming Sunday. So yeah, really looking forward to that. All the updates coming right here on Adventure Planet. But here from Thorpe Park, I want to thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy riding everybody, and I shall see you at Alton Towers.